Hey, this is the New York Jets, and you're watching Good Morning Football.
Robbie Anderson kills me.
Robbie didn't say the word.
Robbie Anderson's a free
like he's being
agent,
held hostage.
He's one of my favorite players.
And a free spirit, by the way.
Very free spirit.
Robbie's my dude, man.
Loved him on this show.
He's a good guy.
Speaking of free spirits, you want to get wild out there, let's go to Will Selva in the newsroom out in Culver City. Some call him a hippie. I just call him a newsman. Will, what do you got?
Yeah, thank you very much there, Schrags. I couldn't believe my ears what I was hearing with Nate. I'm just surprised Nate didn't say, "Oh, I'm shooting blanks" or something like that. He didn't mention it. Thank goodness.
No, Will.
Double down. Roll with the double down.
Went way too far.
You know what I mean? Yes, and we're only 40 minutes into this thing, so hang on tight, Kim Jones. Quarterback Lamar Jackson saw the Ravens' magic carpet ride come to an abrupt end. Many thought they would make a deep run in the playoffs, but instead they lost by 16 to the Titans, and Jackson was nearly flummoxed when asked about it recently. Jackson telling Sirius XM NFL Radio he's still puzzled just looking at the highlights and feels like the offense didn't execute. He added that if they put up more points, it would have been a great game. The NFL's MVP throwing for 365 yards and a touchdown and 2 picks in that loss. He also had 143 yards on the ground, but also lost a fumble. Jackson's teammate in Baltimore, free agent linebacker Matt Judon, is a candidate to be franchise tagged and then traded. This, according to NFL Network's Tom Pelissero. The Ravens would get immediate compensation instead of a compensatory pick. Wide receiver Travis Benjamin is now looking for work. NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport is reporting Benjamin and the Chargers have mutually agreed that he'll hit free agency and not remain with the team. He caught only 6 passes for 30 yards in 5 games this past season. And the Jaguars bustling with activity. NFL Network's James Palmer reporting the Jags agreed to send quarterback A.J.Bouye to the Broncos. According to our Tom Pelissero, Jacksonville will be receiving a 2020 4th-round pick in return. That pick, the 137th overall, was acquired by Denver in the Emmanuel Sanders trade with the 49ers. So, in essence, it was a Sanders for Bouye trade. So a lot of changes happening in Jacksonville as well, as there's speculation about Nick Foles' future there in Jacksonville. So a lot to figure out there in Jacksonville.
Well, thank you so much. We look forward to checking in with you. As you noted, former Jaguar Jalen Ramsey took to Twitter after the Bouye news dropped. Guys, he wrote simply, "Free all my dogs, LOL." Guys, what do you make of not only the trade, but Ramsey's reaction?
Oh, how things change.
Yeah.
Listen, it was a couple of years ago, seemed like yesterday, when they were in the AFC Championship game, the Jacksonville Jags.
Yep.
These guys are almost going to make the Super Bowl. And at that time, even though they lost, I thought to myself, they're so close. They'll be back sooner than later. They have a young nucleus of guys. They'll be perfectly fine. I mean, they had the energy. They were saying the right things. It's like they went from the rah-rah men to the Baja man, because now it's who let the dogs out.
Wow.
Free all my dogs, right?
Wow.
Everybody's leaving all of a sudden. It's unfortunate because when so many superstars leave and become free agents or get traded, even guys like Telvin Smith, who just out of nowhere decided, I'm done playing football. Right. Now it just seems like this team is pulled apart, and they're more disconnected than ever. Like, when are they ever going to be back to what they were a couple of seasons ago? I'm not sure.
Their best player might be Yannick Ngakoue, and he comes out and says, not only am I going to be a franchise, I don't want to be a Jaguar.
I don't want to be here.
I don't want to be here. So, to your point, Jalen Ramsey, the vocal leader of that defense, Yannick Ngakoue, Telvin Smith, it's such a different team from just 2 years ago. And yet, I looked at Doug Marrone is still there. He brings in Jay Gruden. They feel confident that they've got a good culture in place, that they could still get over this. And maybe moving on from Ramsey and Bouye, as great as they are, might be better for the future of this team than having some of those guys from that team still on the roster who might have been malcontents. I'm fascinated to see what this year is, because Doug Marrone basically put his cards on the table. Shad Khan said, 1 more year, let's give it a shot. Right. This is do or die for Doug Marrone. I think he knows it. And for them to be actively getting rid of some of this talent on the roster, it almost feels like it's a rebuilding, but he doesn't have the security to do that. So very interested to see what they bring in free agency and what they do with their draft choice.
And we've already talked. It is a good corner draft. Dave Caldwell might have to get more than one,
right?
You know, depending what happens in free agency. So big times in Jacksonville. That's obvious. And I think we're better when the teams can continue that great start,
No
like
doubt.
you mentioned.
No doubt.
Had they been able to capitalize on
doubt.
it? But so many times it doesn't happen. It's we'll get back next year.
Yeah.
And it
No,
doesn't
and look at
happen.
the AFC South. When it was the Jaguars were this team, that was it. The Titans went to the AFC Championship game. The Texans have Deshaun Watson. He's not going anywhere. And, of course, the Colts, if they bring in Phillip Rivers or even if they stay with Brissett, they're good. So the Jaguars, they were in the basement of the AFC South last year, and there's a lot of expectations that Nick Foles might not be the guy, and it's Minshew. I don't know what's going on with Jacksonville, but I do trust that the coach is going to have them dialed in because he really has no other choice.
And I respect Marone. You know, he does it his way. With everything that has happened over the last couple of years, when he makes a decision, he's stern on it. You know, when Leonard Fournette was in that scuffle, you know what? He is reprimanded. When guys started barking too much, you know, he allowed Jalen Ramsey to seek out another opportunity. And with him having a short leash right now, you can almost appreciate a guy that's doing it his way and not adhering to what everybody else is saying. He can listen to all the noise, and that can determine how he moves forward. Nah, man, he's a man that's going to do it his way, and I can appreciate that.
If you're on a clock, no other way to do it.
Right?
Do it your way.
Absolutely. Well, the third season of NFL Network's Emmy-winning original series, NFL 360, continues on Sunday, March 8th at 9 p.m. Eastern, with a one-hour special devoted to women in football. The episode will tell the evolving story of groundbreaking female contributions to America's game. From the field to the coaching ranks to the broadcast booth to the command center, the presentation includes a roundtable discussion of gender equality in football and American life at large, along with 4 powerful features.
Welcome back to Good Morning Football. We're here in New York City. Now it's time to go into Culver City. I'm talking about the newsroom where our guy, Will Trill, always knows the deal. Selva is waiting on us. Hey, Will, what's up? You got some news and some nuggets for us?
Absolutely. What's going on there, Nate? Welcome back, Schrags, and welcome, Kim Jones, to Good Morning Football. Please partake in any of our highlighters and pens that are on the table. Make yourself at home.
Welcome.
You know?
I do love the 4-color pen. I love
Thank
the
you very
4-color
much. Yes,
Thank
I know.
you.
It works out. Yes, absolutely. Schrags, get nice coffee for it, too. Be nice, you know.
I know.
Let's
It's what we do. Iced coffee and pens.
Trace has 3
yes.
over here, by the way.
all morning.
You know this.
I didn't know this.
All
Dealer's
morning.
choice.
Absolutely. All right. Well, so many players, so many decisions for the Cowboys. 25 unrestricted free agents. 25. A staggering number that includes, among others, quarterback Dak Prescott and wide receiver Amari Cooper. All indications point to the team wanting to re-sign them. But there's another long-time Cowboy that could be done in Big D. The Fort Worth Telegram is reporting tight end Jason Witten will not return to Dallas in 2020. Witten can start seeking employment elsewhere when the negotiating window opens on March 16th. Witten caught 63 passes and 4 touchdowns this season after spending the previous year in the broadcast booth. And while Witten might be looking for other opportunities, wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. is apparently staying right where he is. According to NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport, the Browns aren't planning on trading OBJ. Ian says Cleveland is unveiling a new uni in April, and Beckham is expected to be a part of this announcement. Beckham is also expected to be more active at this year's OTAs. Staying on the topic of receivers, this is a deep draft class. It's believed the Cardinals could take one with the number 8 pick. Head coach Cliff Kingsbury says he's always looking for a fast outside guy and called Oklahoma's CeeDee Lamb and Alabama's Jerry Jeudy and Henry Ruggs III definitely in play. Quote, love all 3 of those guys. And following the NFL Scouting Combine, our draft expert, Daniel Jeremiah, releasing another version of his mock draft. And in this one, he now has the Giants taking Iowa offensive lineman Tristan Wirfs with the 4th overall pick. So according to DJ, General Manager Dave Gettleman will be looking to get some protection for his franchise QB and running back. So Tristan Wirfs going to the G-Men, according to DJ Schrags. And we happen to have somebody who covers the Giants and the Jets very closely for us and does an excellent job for us, Schrags.
Yes, we are there, Will. You know, Tristan Wirfs, one of the Hog Mollies, a Gettleman special. And Kim, we are lucky to have you at the table because when we're during the season, there's one person who is owning the beat as far as Jets and Giants go, and it is you. And we're so excited to have you here because I got to talk Giants right off the bat. You know this team well. You know them inside and out. Where do you expect them to focus their efforts, both in the draft and in free agency?
I think in the draft, if you look at Tristan Wirfs, especially after the workout, but not just because of the workout, although he might have separated himself a little.
Of course.
Listen, when you're out jumping DeAndre Hopkins